What's going on YouTube? We are back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A. This is the first Q&A I've done on the channel, so I'm super excited for this. About a week ago, I had you guys ask me a bunch of questions on my Instagram, and I'm going to be responding to all of them right now. This is attempt number 2 because we just recorded for 20 minutes and the mic wasn't even on. So we're doing it again. This is my girlfriend Autumn, beautiful girlfriend right here. She's going to be helping me out with asking everything, so we're going to get right back into it. Let's do it.
When did you find out that you wanted to start a brand?
So when I first decided I wanted to start a clothing brand was when I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school. I was probably 16 years old, I'd say. And yeah, I was just super into fashion and making clothes already. So I ended up making my first brand, which was called Vessel. If you know what Vessel is, you're a super OG. And yeah, that was my clothing brand before 6-Shooter.
Were you ever hesitant when starting your brand?
I would never say I was really hesitant with anything in my clothing brand. I would just say that at the start, you don't really know what you're doing. So doing things and wanting to do them properly were very hard. Yeah, I wasn't hesitant. I just didn't know what I was doing for the first 3 years of running my brand.
Any tips for upcoming brands? Just started my own.
That's a good question. So if you got a clothing brand, pay attention. This is the best advice you need to get. You need to just put your head down and work, right? There's so many clothing brands out here nowadays. You just need to design every single day, and you need to post your designs and your clothes every single day. The way I blew up was I posted 3 TikToks every single day for almost a whole year. Just absolutely grinding. So you just need to grind. If you put your head down for 2 years and just work and work and work, I promise you you're gonna get somewhere with this stuff.
How much did it cost to start your brand?
That's another good question. So I started my brand with $200. I was making my clothes at first, so $100 was blanks for t-shirts, and then another $100 was for vinyl, and I used my aunt's machines, like a Cricut and heat press, and I used those to make my first hoodies.
What is your routine of the day? Like, what do you have for breakfast?
A little bit more personal of a question. So it really depends on what I'm doing with the brand. If it's just an ordinary day, I'll probably wake up anywhere between 7 and 1 o'clock. I don't know what time. It was just somewhere between those time frames I wake up. And then I'll wake up, eat some eggs over easy on some toast, because that's my go-to breakfast. And then I go straight to the studio, and I'll just bang out whatever is the most important for the day, that being orders or designing or, making content, anything like that. And yeah, I'm at the studio for 10 hours a day. Pretty much every single day, just working on as much stuff as I can. If it's during a collection, I have photo shoots and stuff like that, but I'm just always busy. I'm always trying to keep busy and do as much work as I can.
Are you a car guy, brother?
It's so funny because all these questions I've already answered. Yes, I am a car guy. I've always loved cars. I drive a 1992 Mazda Miata. It's a good entry-level car guy car. My brother really got me into cars when I was younger, so I've always just grown up liking cars. And my dream car is a Supra Mark V with the B58 engine. We're gonna get that soon, bro. I talk about it all the time on this channel. We're gonna get it.
What was your inspiration for your brand?
So my inspirations have changed a lot, but when I first started out, I was super inspired by the rap scene and the punk scene. People like Juice WRLD, NASCAR Aloe, Zillakami, just those rappers and their styles, that really inspired me for what I wanted to make. So when I was first starting out, I was making stuff like this, these graphic tees and the direct-to-garment printing styled items, But now I'm really into pants and making really detailed, attention to detail pieces, such as the denim and a lot of the crazy hoodies I make and stuff like that.
How did you learn how to sew from scratch? Any advice to start doing it?
Nice. Finally, we're at some new questions. So sewing from scratch, sewing from scratch is easier, I would say, than reworking clothes, but for a good 2 years, all I did was rework vintage clothes, vintage t-shirts, pants, hoodies, everything. I was just taking it apart and sewing things together. So I would just practice sewing and getting the hang of sewing like that.
Favorite brand beside your own?
So my favorite clothing brands besides my own, I would say No Faith Studios. I really love their denim and everything Lewis is doing with the brand. Super cool. And then I would also say I really like Shine Luxury Studios. Definitely super cool brand there too. They both inspire me a lot.
How long does it take usually to come up with a design?
Designing an item for me, it only takes like 3 days. It usually starts with like something inspiring me or just something might pop in my head for an idea. And it just starts with a sketch and I'll draw it on my iPad and make the tech pack and like that and stuff like that. But the process of sampling it, getting the sample, getting bulk, ordering bulk, receiving the bulk, and then, doing all the promotion and dropping it, that whole process will take me like 6 months. Like 6 months, like 4 to 6 months is usually the time frame of how long it takes to actually put something out into the world. Sometimes longer, but that's like a good estimate.
How did you find the inspiration to create when you weren't satisfied with past designs?
So I would never say I'm like really like not happy with how like a lot of my designs come out. I usually really like most of the stuff I make, but some things are just out of your control. If a manufacturer like messes up on an item, you can't really do nothing about it. You just have to keep going. No one's coming to help you out just because you're complaining about your manufacturer messing up. So you just got to keep it pushing and keep on designing and making more clothes, because at the end of the day, it's all you can really do. You just got to keep going.
What is the most amount of money you've lost with a bad manufacturer?
Oh my god.
I know it.
Good question. The most amount of money I've lost with a manufacturer was, I'd say, $2,000. I made some puffer jackets probably like 2 years ago. Don't use Pakistan, man. I've said this on the channel before. Don't use Pakistan. Don't even think about it. I got these puffers made with Pakistan, and they were terrible. They were so bad. They sent me a good sample, and it came out super nice. And then once they sent me bulk, they changed everything on the thing. On the puffer. They made it less filled in. Every single zipper on it was broken, because like the sleeves and the hood and the front, it all zipped off. Every zipper was broken. They changed like the material, and it was just terrible. And it was only 30 units. And I could only sell about 12 of them. So yeah, I lost $2,000 on that, and yeah, now I know better. Don't use Pakistan, man. Listen to me on that, guys.
Will you open a physical shop and sell your clothes in a store?
I started my clothing brand a long time ago, and I've only been documenting it for a little bit. So you guys don't know that I've already had a store before. It was in this building. It was in my studio building, and I had that for about a year, but it was just kind of lame, like in this building, because it's all old people. So I have had a store before, and in the future, I definitely would like to have like a real retail store in like New York or something like that. Have like a really cool showroom. That's some time away, but yeah, I would definitely love to have a retail store somewhere.
If you didn't have a clothing brand, what would you be doing?
What a good question. That's like my favorite question so far. Dang, I don't even know if I've thought about that before. I really have no clue. Like, my heart is set on this fashion stuff, man. I really have no interest in nothing else. I think, I actually do know. I would be a streamer. I would definitely be a streamer. And honestly, in the future, I could picture myself streaming still, even with like doing this stuff, because I used to stream. I used to have like a gaming YouTube channel, and I didn't spend too much time with it, but like that was also something I was really passionate about. So yeah, I would definitely try to be a streamer. I wouldn't have a job. I hate jobs. I hate bosses. I hate authority. So I would definitely I would be working for myself in some sort of way, but definitely like streaming.
Did you study anything about fashion, or are you self-taught?
So I didn't go to no fashion school. I have no actual knowledge. Well, I know I have knowledge on fashion, but I never was taught by anyone other than like YouTube and, like tutorials and stuff like that. So yeah, mostly self-taught.
What is a website that you would suggest for people starting to look for manufacturers?
Obvious is Alibaba. I would definitely use Alibaba. There's some amazing manufacturers on there, and there's some terrible ones. Pretty much, you just have to test and try them out. There's no way you're going to know unless you start using them and talk to them and build a relationship. So, yeah, use Alibaba.
What's the hardest part mentally about running a brand?
Damn. Good question. Look, I know a lot of people think that running a clothing brand is like it's the strat nowadays and like you're instant success and you're gonna make money. You're not. This isn't the method. And I think running a clothing brand the real way, not just like stealing people's designs and making money that way. I mean, running a clothing brand from scratch and really trying to push like a movement is like the hardest thing in the world. So I think just like running the brand in general is so mentally straining, is so difficult to do this. Like I think it's just so hard to really like push out clothes all the time and constantly be designing and constantly dealing with setbacks and stuff like that. So I think just the whole idea of running a clothing brand is so hard and it's so mentally hard to do. So pretty much the whole thing. This crap is hard, but I love every second of it. I really enjoy this.
How did you get your own studio, and how has it been working in it?
So I got my first studio so my cousin, right? He has a clothing brand. It's Cody. You guys have seen him before. I joined him on his studio because he had a studio, and he ended up letting me be a part of it. But then I ended up just moving into my own studio in the same building. So that's how I ended up getting my own studio, was just by knowing someone else who had a studio. But it's been life-changing having my own studio and my own dedicated workspace where I can focus on the brand and not really have any distractions and just work by myself. I don't think I would be even half as far as I would be right now. So I would get a studio or make a dedicated room in your house or something like that for working, because you just need that place to go to and like just to lock in. So it's been great. I love my studio. It's one of my favorite things.
What got you into designing?
Honestly, nothing got me into designing because my entire life growing up, I was an artist. I always loved drawing. I always loved art class was my favorite. That's like what I succeeded at. I was always like a designer and drawer. I love drawing. I always had drawing books. And what's cool is my mom is a architectural designer, so she, kind of passed down her like designing genes onto me. So that's just who I am. I've always been a designer and a creator, I'd say. So fashion and running a clothing brand has just been my like not scapegoat, but like it's been my medium on expressing my designs.
I did my first 3 TikToks and I am getting no views. How was it when you started?
Man, shut up. Don't you dare complain posting 3 TikToks getting no views. I said earlier, I posted 3 TikToks every single day for a year. I posted almost 1,000 TikToks in a year. Okay, I lied. I posted 3 TikToks a day for like 5 months, and then like once per day for the rest of the year, and then more than just that year. You got to keep going. You haven't done enough to complain about views at all. It took me about 2 months to get a video that even hit 10K views. So just keep going, man. You're gonna get it. Just keep posting. You got it.
Will you be releasing shoes at any point?
Absolutely. I would love to, not shoes, but definitely like some boots. I would definitely love to make like a sick combat boot, probably like some distressing on it, or I don't know, probably a leather boot at some point. But I could definitely see myself making like a super cool boot.
How do you feel, or what do you think about where you are currently in your life?
I don't know. I'm so unsatisfied with where I am in life like all the time. I feel like I'm never doing enough, and I always want more for myself. So honestly, whenever I think about that question, it kind of saddens me because I feel like I should be further. But everyone has their own journey, and everyone takes their own amount of time to get somewhere. It's not like I'm competing with anyone else. And, my major success is probably right around the corner. I've already had great success, and, I'm appreciative of everyone who supports me already. But, yeah, we got ways to go. I'm nowhere where I want to be. I got a lot of growing to do and a lot of work to do, but it's part of the process. We're gonna keep at it. We got years ahead of us.
Did you expect your life to go down this route when you were younger?
I wouldn't say I knew I was going to have a clothing brand, but I knew it was going to be something along the lines of, something like this, being my own boss, being a content creator, making YouTube and stuff like that. Like when I was younger, I used to make YouTube videos and I wanted to grow up to be a YouTuber. So I knew I was going to do something cool like this. I didn't exactly know it was going to be fashion and running a clothing brand, but yeah, I knew I had something cool waiting for me.
What's your favorite piece you've made?
So I did see this question, and I actually brought it over here to show you guys. I have not released these yet. These will release in like 2 or 3 months maybe, but I'm gonna grab them right now. This is by far my favorite thing I've ever made. Hold this mic for a second. Now, I probably can't give you guys the best look of them right now, but I just got the sample in for these army pants, and these are just insane. Super insane. I'm not gonna give you guys a super detailed look, but this right here is definitely my favorite item I've made, and they're just insane. So these are gonna be dope. Be on the lookout. If you guys are looking for some army pants, these are coming soon.
They're my favorite too, and I'm grabbing them and stealing them. When did you know it was gonna work out?
I know exactly when I knew it was gonna work out, and it was these pants right here. The Umbra denim. If you guys have been following me since these were my big break, I'd say, with a clothing brand, and like knowing that this crap was gonna work out, because before these pants, most of my drops would do less than $5,000 in sales, that's not bad, but that's really not anything compared to a lot of clothing brands nowadays. But these pants right here were the first time I'd ever sold 100 units of something, and the first time I'd ever done over 10K in sales. So when these dropped, I literally cried, because it was just like so built up, and like I was seeing success for the first time, and like that was like my dream. So like these pants definitely mean a lot to me.
Hair tutorial?
I wake up, I wash my hair, I dry it, and then I just put like some curly cream in it just to like make it look nice. But that's really it. It just kind of dries how it is. I don't put too much work into it.
What do you do to keep that creative drive and motivation going?
Sometimes I lose it, to be honest. So you're not always going to be creative and motivated to work, and that's just how it is. You can't just force yourself to create when your mind's not ready to create. So if there's times like that where I just feel like I'm in like a funk, and like I'm not mentally creative, I just don't even try to create. I'll just do something else that will benefit the business, and that's really it. Eventually that spark will come back, and then you'd be like, oh man, I got a million ideas and I want to create like crazy right now. But when you get into that funk and you can't design no more, just don't even try, because nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna either make something bad, or you're just gonna get frustrated. So creators and designers need time to be lazy and do nothing. All right, we got about 5 to 10 more questions here, but before we keep going, you guys have been sending me a bunch of stuff lately, so I just want to show some of the influencer packages I've gotten. If you're a brand and you want to send me some stuff, hit me up on Instagram, and I'll get back to you. But let me show you some things I've gotten lately. It's like Christmas, bro. You guys are crazy. First off, this is from my boy Jose. He owns Alert County. He sent me his new wallet chain, which is a bike chain. This thing is sick, man. Put this on real quick. Bam, super fire. Literally looks like a belt chain. Appreciate you for sending me this. Like I said, all the Instagrams for these pages will be in the description, so if you want to check them out, you can do that. But let's keep it going. Now, next up, from my boy Henry. I appreciate you like crazy, my boy. Always sending me stuff. His brand is Warehouse 11. He sent me his new denim. Let me see. Oh yeah, some nice basic clean denim. Ooh, I like the purple tag.
Those are nice.
Yeah, these are real nice. Just simple, probably semi-baggy. I'm not gonna be able to put them on right now because we outside, but got some distressing at the bottom. Super dope, super clean. Appreciate you sending me these. Next up, this is definitely one of the craziest things I've gotten. This brand is called Levant Fashion, I'm pretty sure. He handmade these. He completely hand sewed these. So I really respect that and appreciate, the time and effort that went into it. But look at these pants, bro. Holy crap. Dude, he sewed these by hand, like start to finish. And, these are insane. I don't even think I could sew something like that, like this, with the side pockets, and they're hand dyed. Super cool, man. So, definitely one of my favorite things I've gotten. I appreciate you sending me this. Now, last one. This is from a brand called Dilks. This is super cool, boxing packaging. I've never gotten like a box. So this right here, it's just a calm La t-shirt. Calm little white t-shirt. It's got this deer on it. Fire t-shirt. Nice and clean. Good quality. Appreciate you sending this to me, my boy. Let's keep these questions going.
What blanks do you use for your shirts?
Before I probably wouldn't have given this up, but since I'm not really focusing on stuff like that anymore, I don't even care. I'm gonna give you all the sauce for the blanks right now. If you want cheap shirts, like Gildan stuff like that, use jiffyshirts.com. Get them in a couple days. If you want high quality blanks, use Superline and Shockaware. There's made blanks. Those are like the top ones I would use and have used. All very good quality. That's really it. I don't really use blanks too much anymore. Most of my stuff's manufactured, but if you guys do need blanks, those are the places I'd get them from. Love Your Videos, Bro by Tired Felipe. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, we answered pretty much every single question, but there's one more. It asks, what did you study? And I'm guessing that's asking what I studied in school. So I went to school I only graduated high school. I have no higher education than that. But I went to vocational school, which means that I, for 50% of the time, learned like a trade, and for the other 50% of the time, I actually did schooling. So I went to school for electrical. So I know how to like wire houses and like do commercial and residential wiring and all that stuff. So yeah, I can get my hands dirty too. I can wire. And she was in it too. She was in the same shop to me. That's how we met. So for 2 years, she was doing the same electrical work as me, which is funny. But yeah, I did have an electrical job for a little bit. I worked at Domino's for a little bit. My first job, I was a dishwasher. So I've done my work, man. I've gotten my hands dirty enough. Now I just do this. I don't want to work for no one else no more. Man, that was like a cool video to record. I liked answering all those questions, and you guys getting to know me a little bit better. We're like 16 videos deep, I think, on this channel, and I've never done a Q&A. So it's nice. I got to like open up a little bit and just talk to you guys directly and tell you like more personal stuff. I think I do want to do another one of these eventually, maybe a couple months from now. So if you guys want to be a part of the next one and get to ask me questions, go follow my personal Instagram. I'll put my personal one on the screen and 6shooter, so you can follow both of those so you can be a part of the next video. Well, I guess that's going to conclude this video. I got a party to get to in a little bit, so I can't be wasting too much time recording, but I appreciate you guys for watching this video. It was a good time. I love y'all. Have a good rest of your days. Hope you guys learned some stuff from this video. I did drop a lot of sauce. I did drop a lot of sauce in this. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.